G'day. I'd like to speak a little bit more about intuition. I did speak a little bit about it in the geometrical thought harmonics video, but I want to go in depth to give a greater understanding of what intuition is. Now, as I said before, the icosahedron represents intuition. It has 30 external points. It has 20 equilateral triangle facets, and it has 12 pentagon facets. Externally, they are physical or practical planes. Okay, if we go inwards, it has the mental planes. Again, it has 12 pentagon planes, and it has 20 equilateral triangle planes. On the mental level, then the center dissecting or emotional planes. Now they divide that structure into halves. Each division divides the structure into halves. So it has 6 decagon planes. As emotional planes, center dissecting. It has 15 square emotional planes, and it has 10 center point hexagon emotional planes. Emotional planes, mental planes, physical planes. The emotional planes are hypothetical, the mental planes are theoretical, and the physical planes are practical. Okay, so now we go back out to the external planes, pentagons and equilateral triangles. Now, because a pentagon represents motive, personal thought, or consciousness, then on the physical, intuition is motivational. Okay, so the equilateral triangle planes are creative, it's imagination. So intuition on the physical level is creative. So it's creative and motivational on the physical level, physical planes. Physically motivational and physically creative. On the mental planes, had the same, pentagon planes and equilateral triangle planes. Pentagon planes, motive, personal thought or consciousness. So it's mentally motivational. The equilateral triangle planes, creative thought or imagination. So it's mentally creative. Okay, so on the physical level, intuition is physically motivational and physically creative. On the mental level, it is mentally motivational and mentally creative. On the emotional level, the decagon planes of belief or choice. So they are, by the way, they're suggestive, the emotional planes. So the decagon plane of belief or choice, intuition, suggests choices. Now, we also have center point hexagon emotional planes. They represent desire, love-based sense agreement, a conclusive agreement of focused imagination, a sensory singularity. So intuition suggests awareness. Now, we have the emotional planes, the square emotional planes of intellect, emotional intelligence. So, intuition suggests what to take on board and build upon. Intellect, receptive and constructive, takes on board and builds upon concepts. Intuition suggests what to take on board and build upon. Now we go back out to the physical planes. Now, the pentagon. If you connect the 5 points of the pentagon internally, creates lines between the points, forms a pentagram. Now, a grammic trait is interpretative. It interprets, an interpretation. So it's an interpretation of motive, personal thought, or consciousness. It interprets motive, personal thought, or consciousness. Now those lines are the edges of equilateral triangles of creative thought or imagination. But each of those equilateral triangles forms part of the emotional trait of awareness. As awareness has the center point of a hexagon, you connect the center point to the outside points, it creates equilateral triangles. 6 equilateral triangle designs that create one plane. Okay, so those equilateral triangles are emotionally creative. Now what it does is, as desire is pentagon-based focused creative thought, or pentagon-based focused imagination, which is a wish, then because the pentagon base of that desire, the external facets, are pentagrams, which are interpretations. So what that does, it forms or interprets desire. It's an interpretation of desire. So, if we move inwards, we have the mental pentagon planes. Now they are the bases of pentagon-based pyramids, the ordinary pentagon-based pyramids, not interpretations, but just the ordinary pentagon-based pyramids of desire, their wishes. So those pentagon bases have the equilateral triangles, again connecting to the vortex of the Okosi dodecahedron, forms impressions of desire. The external ones form impressions of interpreted desire. The equilateral triangles on the mental planes, they are the facets of the octahedron of nature. as in the icosahedron, is a product of 5 octahedrons of nature, all rotated around a common vortex. Represents attitudinal behaviour or nature. Okay, so go back out to the external. No. We look at those square emotional planes of intellect, emotional intelligence. They form feeling, an expression of emotional intelligence. Feeling suggests behaviour. Now, those mental equilateral triangle facets that we spoke about, they are the external equilateral triangle facets of the octahedron of nature. They form attitude. So it attitudinally expresses feeling, an attitudinal expression of feeling. Attitudinal feeling or attitudinal behaviour, nature. Now we can go back out to the external. Okay, desire is a wish. So, intuition is impressed by desire or receives wishes. Now, the external facets or interpretations of desire. So, intuition interprets wishes. Now, the internal pentagon-based pyramids of desire, that's what it interprets. It interprets that is the wishes, the received wishes. Intuition receives wishes, interprets those wishes. Now, as we said, the emotional planes, the decagon planes of belief or choice, intuition receives wishes, interprets those wishes, and suggests choices. The decagon is belief or choice, suggests choices. Now, as nature, an attitudinal expression of feeling, attitudinal behaviour, intuition receives wishes, interprets those wishes, suggests choices, and expresses guidance through attitudinal, personalised attitudinal behaviour, personalised nature. Beautiful form of guidance. Guides our choices, guides our attitudinal behaviour, our nature. Now, as I spoke before about when we say that a creature is very spirited, it's very strong-willed. It has a strong desire. So I have inferred that could possibly represent spirit. Someone's very spirited, strong-willed, strong desire. So desire could be spirit. If so, intuition is impressed by spirit. An impression of spirit, spiritual impression, makes choices, suggests choices, and suggests personalised attitudinal behaviour. It's not forced upon us, they're suggestions. It's guidance. That's what guidance is. Guidance is a suggestion. I would suggest you go this way instead of that way, because, if you go that way, you could have problems. They're suggestions. Guidance is suggestion. And intuition, like I said, is suggestive, intellectual, intelligent suggestion, awareness, and belief or choice. So, what if intuition has been the major, well, not just major, because instinct is a form of guidance as well, but instinct guides according to memory, memory of experience. So, an intuition, guidance of feeling, guidance of choice, guidance of awareness, desired awareness. Could it be what many of us have determined to be divine guidance from a supreme being? Divine guidance, guidance of intuition, guiding choices, guiding behaviour, guiding awareness. The more and more that I research intuition, the greater understanding I have of it. And the more it relates to, like I said, it could be the basis of a lot of our religious systems, divine guidance. You know, it's just a state of our mind. It's just part of us. It's just innate. It's just what we are. You know, we have guidance of memory. We have guidance of feeling. Guided awareness and belief, choice. Now, we can accept that guidance or simply deny it, ignore it, whatever we wish to do. But I have, and guidance of feeling relates to, a lot of us get gut feeling. We call it gut feeling. Quite often it's pretty correct. You know, other creatures are guided by intuition, guidance of feeling. They pick up when there's a threat, when there's a storm coming or whatever. They are moved in a direction away from bad situations and toward good situations. That's what it does. Moves us in the best possible direction, away from harm. Guides us with information. Intellect, receptive and constructive, takes on board and builds upon concepts. Feeling, an expression of emotional intelligence. So, you know, what is suggestively taken on board and built upon? Memory. So, it fascinates me, intuition. Absolutely phenomenal part of our existence, our mind. That, like I said, could have been misinterpreted to be a divine presence, a divine guidance, a god, gods. You know, voices we may get, impressions we may get, feelings we may get. And we quite possibly could have misinterpreted all that stuff. It's just part of us. It's part of what we are. It's just part of what we are. So, it's up to you what you accept to be true. That's what belief and choice are all about. But in my opinion, it's an amazing part of us. I have been intuitively guided for a long, long time. I was very open to intuition. I'm an empath. I pick up that sort of stuff. I'm very responsive to feeling. So I've been guided so often towards something or away from something for a particular reason. It's pretty much always worked out to be a good thing. So if we ponder on that, on the possibilities of what that means, as far as our belief systems go, as far as our religious doctrines go, then it more or less changes the way you think about a lot of things, about our religions, our concepts of gods. Because if intuition is an innate guidance that's just part of us as a mind, and we accept that to be correct and understand all of the stuff that's been going on in our lives, the guidance we've had in our lives, it was just us moving ourselves towards or away from, towards good things, away from bad things. It's just an inherent, innate ability that we have through our feelings. We pick up feelings from around us. In a way, that's a very powerful communication feeling. Emotional intelligence, suggestive, all power of suggestion, suggestive belief or choice, suggestive awareness, suggestive intelligence, the power of suggestion. Like I said, interesting. Okay, I'll leave you with that. Like I said, I just wanted to add to what I've already given. Try and help us all to get a greater understanding of just what we are, what our potential is, what it's always been, and how our expressions of that potential can grow in the right way, with a greater understanding of what that entails, to move us in a better direction. Okay, thank you very much, and we'll meet again.